Hey guys, Sean Bougie, surplusfundsriches.net. I'm a little early on the draw here, but if someone out there could let me know you can hear and see me okay, that would be great. Please use chat, not Q&A. If you guys use chat, please, it'll be private. Come straight to me. I'll answer every single question you guys have tonight. But for now, I just need to know that you can hear and see me okay. And I very much appreciate it if you'd use chat to let me know that, please. Guys, we do ignore the Q&A. The reason is chat is quicker for us for some reason on this, well, whatever you want to call this. On the servers work faster, however you want to say it. Chat works better for us. I can hear and see you, Tanya. Thank you. Cheryl, hi. Sean and Jeff, all good. Nate says, yep. Roslana, I can see and hear you. Robert says loud and clear. Yes, we can see 5x5 in the pipe, Walter. Roger, Maryland, you're good. Ursula, I can hear and see you. Pamela, yes, we can hear and see you. Gabriel, I can hear. And John, I can hear. All right, guys. So as you guys that have been around, I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring the rest of you guys jumping in here. John, Tiffany, Warren, another John, Pamela, Tammy, Manuel. Not ignoring you, but as you guys know, this is a quick, down and dirty question and answer, and I will cover anything that has to do with application. In other words, hey, how do I do this? What if this happens? I'll cover anything like that. Also, pre-purchase questions if you got them. If it's a support question, Jeff is the moderator on this, and he handles support. If it's a support question, I will tell you guys, Jeff tends to get back in one business day on support. So this is more an interaction, build a community type event where we're just trying to ask questions, not only general questions, but in-depth questions, and also help the folks. As you guys know, our programs teach you not only how to partner up with us, but how to do this on your own. So having said that, it's important that you guys have the opportunity to get in touch with us and ask us questions that come up if you're running your own business on this. So real quick, Terry, Thais, sorry if I mispronounced that, Yvette, Jenna, Linda, Max, Nathaniel, and Manuel. Welcome, guys. Again, I got to say it again. I'm going to look real quick. This is probably the last time. Please do not use the question and answer. Use the chat, please. Okay. Love to hear from folks. Guys, fire it up. Any and all questions are okay. Try to stump us if you'd like. We would like to stay with real meat and bones type of stuff. As far as flipping and in surplus funds, anything you got, thank you, Blanche, for telling me you can hear and see me okay. Anything you guys have got question-wise would be very much appreciated. I will, as I'm waiting for you guys to jump in here. Great question. Thank you, Emmanuel, for opening this up with an insanely good question. Can you talk about how to obtain lawyers in different states? Here's the deal, Emmanuel. The way we've done it, and I have been crazy happy with this, is we have a central attorney close to us in our state. We've worked with them before on the stuff we did years and years and years ago, and made a deal with them. He said, look, we're going to pay other attorneys. Your paralegal hires those other attorneys, and as a result of that, we're going to give you 3% of the gross, which can be a lot of money or a little bit. And the minimum we'll pay is, I think we came up with $275 for just to find me an attorney in the other state. And we have all of our documents signed up for that central attorney local. And as part of our agreement, our power of attorney to our attorney is that they're allowed to hire attorneys in other states to make the retrieval. Very clean, very legal, no issues at all. And it just makes my life so much easier that I don't have to find a new attorney in new places, right? How long should it take to research and complete a file to submit, Joey? So Joey, at first it's a new skill set, right? So you're getting a list, then you're researching the debt against the property to make sure that there was not additional debt that might be entitled to the overage and or surplus funds in front of the owner. So at first it's a new skill set. Take you 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Hey, it's Murphy's Law, right? So and with Murphy's Law, you're going to run into a tough one really, really quick. That's just how that stuff works. We do have that title video about working a difficult deal. That'll help you quite a bit with that. But once you get good at it, which is 3 to 5 files you've turned in, a light bulb's going to go off in your head. Oh my God, all I'm doing is putting debt in chronological order. I found when they bought it and when it sold at the foreclosure. Anything in between is debt that needs to either be satisfied, terminated, whatever you want to call it, taken care of, or it's still in place. It's still in effect. If it isn't canceled or terminated, it's still valid debt and therefore has a valid claim in front of the overage, and we don't want it. That's the whole point of you guys being researchers there, right? Is doing that little funnel. I'm going to address this. Can we talk about working in North Carolina? Linda, we've currently paused that for a number of reasons. The main one being that the only reason folks, the only list that people are able to get right now is funds that have already been escheated to the state, and it's taking over a year to get paid out. So we just stopped doing that for now. Are IRS liens good after 10 years? Patrick, no. Really good question, Patrick. Now look, unless that lien actually specified a drop dead date longer than 10 years, and I have never seen that, but unless it did, it is automatically assumed that IRS tax liens last 10 years. Now, be careful, guys, because remember, one of the things we tell you is debt has to have been in place prior to that foreclosure to count against the overage, so against the surplus funds, right? IRS is different. If there's an IRS lien that popped up, let's say you're working an older list or a claim that hasn't been filed on, there's a claimant out there, hasn't filed a claim and it's been 2 years and since the foreclosure, and there was an IRS lien last year. So that's a year after. Don't have to worry about it, right? IRS has a little trick up their sleeve where they can actually count that 10 years plus if it was, for instance, against taxes from the previous year, the first quarter of the previous year. They can actually backdate that, or 2 years ago, they can backdate that and go, oh, we're still entitled because the taxes weren't paid at that date. So be really careful with those. That's a great question, guys. Keep them coming. Blanche IG, CJ, what state are you lacking researchers? We don't get into that, CJ. Here's the deal. We're not going to work Oregon, Washington State, or Colorado. North Carolina is currently paused, and Florida is a completely separate program. Work wherever you get a list. I'm not, every time we've done this before years ago. Oh, it'd be great if somebody could. Next thing you know, everybody's attacking that, and then people are complaining. There's so much out there. There's 3,200 counties in the United States, guys. Don't get caught up in which one should I work. Just get a list and work it. Can we work with your lawyers and get implemented in your system more like a one-stop shop? So Emmanuel, if you're a researcher with us, here's the deal. National Surplus Funds Program. We have two different programs. National Surplus Funds Program, all you do is research the debt, turn that in and fill out a worksheet with that, turn it into us, and we do the rest. We find the people, put the deal, negotiate, put the deal together, hire the mobile notary and the attorney, and we give you 8% of the gross so we get the money out of the court. Premier 16, you research the debt and you also find the people and have a warm conversation and make sure they want to speak with us. And you have the right person, and we give you 16% of the gross amount held by the court, which, by the way, is probably going to be more than a lot of you guys can make on your own. As far as working with we won't give our attorney names out. Now, if somebody's been working with us as a researcher or partner for a long time with Premier 16 or National Surplus Funds, and we've seen their work is good, we've gotten some deals out, and they decide to go out on their own, and they ask us if we've got an attorney in that area, that's fine. The problem is in the past, we've given our attorneys' names out, and the attorneys actually told us stop it because we didn't know that the researcher wasn't actually researching debt. They were trying to take shortcuts. So we just don't do that. But yeah, once you've been around for a while, submitted some deals that have come through, no problem. What is the process for interaction with you guys once I buy into the program, Nate? So first of all, you get an initial PDF, which is a step-by-step. You got to read that, by the way. Let me make that really clear for the guys out there that haven't purchased from us yet, because I get this all the time. Well, oh my God, I have to read 50 pages of a step-by-step, and then I got to watch a video. And I just want it all to be videos. It's a new skill set. It needs to be in writing. It needs to be read. But once you do that, that has a link with a password to more training, video training, just about everything you could possibly need, including support is accessed that way. It's internet-based. It's a ticket-based system using email through Jeff, and he gets back in one business day. We also have these live question and answer webinars twice a month. That's how we handle support. Jeff knows the front line better than me. Jeff actually underwrites the files as they're turned in after the admin takes a look at them. They're sent to Jeff. He underwrites them. So he knows the front line better than I do. So, I mean, I have people all the time trying to call me after they bought with a question. Oh, it's just a quick question, or Facebook, whatever. And I'm like, look, I'm going to give you the wrong answer. Jeff handles the front line. I'm handling attorneys. And then if we're flipping, realtors or buyers. Okay. So it's just not my thing. It's Jeff's, and we put a lot of time, money, and energy into creating that system, and it's backed up on multiple servers. So we really need you to use the support system on there. It's a fantastic system. He generally gets back in one business day, even though he's got a total of 3. All heck broke loose, right? What is the process? Let's see. So you think 45 minutes? Sorry, I didn't get your answer, Joey. So at first, I think it'll take you 30 to 45 minutes to research a file. After your first 3 to 5, you should get it down to 15 minutes. Guys, somebody's using the Q&A. I'm going to ignore that. I told you, we got to use chat in this, please. I can't open both systems. Also, there is a file. I don't know if you're going to have to collapse your chat or not to see it. There's a file download. That's our insider's guide. There's a lot of information on all the programs that we have and the specials we're currently running, as well as links. I would highly recommend that you would download that. That'll answer a ton of your questions. Gabriel, in surplus funds, how do I know I'm not duplicating another person's work? Awesome question, Gabriel. So when we built this, we had to build this completely different than anybody else because we partner. Okay. So what we had to do was actually figure out a way to be transparent about that. So in addition, on the resources page, in addition to the video training and the independent contractor agreement that protects us both, basically it says I got to pay you what I promised to pay you. You promise to be nice to my staff. Okay. There is not a non-compete in there or anything like that. We encourage folks to do it on their own as well. But in addition, there's a link on there with an additional password that takes you to our active files list, our working files list. And you can check that prior to researching, save you time researching, right? We don't have a saturation issue by any means, but it's nice that we're that transparent and you can see before you even research the debt if we already have a file. Great question. That's a great question. How hard is it to get mortgage lists compared to tax? So John, typically tax are a little easier to get, and it also depends on the state. Some states allow the attorneys to actually handle the funds or the trustee to actually handle the funds, the attorney that handled the foreclosure. Excuse me, including disbursement, by the way. In that instance, you're not going to be able to get a mortgage overage list. The 2 states that come to mind, and they're complete opposites, can't believe I'm saying this in the same sentence, is California and Texas. They let the attorneys handle the mortgage overages, and they're not going to give you a list. It's too much liability. Other than that, it's fairly easy to get them. And it just takes a little bit of time. But whatever you do, don't get caught up in, oh my God, I live in New Jersey, so I'm going to work New Jersey. Work wherever you get a list. Don't just work your area. That's silly. How hard is it to get mortgage? Wait a minute. Let me make sure this isn't Jeff getting a hold of me. Blanche, I have a case with $38,705.24. I have the deed and the court paper showing the 2 brothers are heirs of the property and entitled to funds. One individual is incarcerated. There is no deed. There is no deed. No deed, no deal. I got to see a deed that says who actually has it. It sounds like the deed was made out to somebody who has died. And I'll tell you something right now. You're running after stuff that you're not going to be able to. You don't want to have to open an estate or probate file. So unless you have an executor for that probate or estate case that you can contact, and it was a court-approved executor, or a will with an executor that can be contacted, you are wasting your time. Incarceration doesn't matter. Generally, people have somebody that has a fiduciary responsibility or power of attorney, I should say, for them, and contacting them or their friends and family can help you get that. But listen, if you're going after heirship, that's a mistake. And by the way, everybody lies about it. Kevin, what debt is always paid out first before the former owner? Kevin, any debt against the property, okay? Also, and I need you guys to listen to me, any debt against the owner, or at that time, the claimant, right, that was in place prior to the foreclosure hitting. Now, granted, most states you can't check personal judgments, IRS tax liens, that type of thing, by looking at the Register of Deeds department where you check the debt against the property. That's another reason why we have our attorneys jump in. We immediately get it to our attorney, and they send somebody down. Well, our attorney hires an attorney wherever it's needed. They send somebody down to the court to double check that, and I give myself 10 business days, 2 weeks. Remember, I use buyouts. I give the owner 10% of the gross amount being held, the claimant 10% of the gross amount being held. As soon as 10 business days, 2 weeks after I get the documents back, I give them 10% of the gross amount being held by the court as good faith. During that 10 days, my attorneys are double checking title, making sure there isn't an IRS tax lien or a credit card judgment. Those are rare, just so you know, but that is additional debt. Great question. However, let me make a clarification. Listen carefully. In order for debt against the individual to also count against this, it has to be recorded in the same county and state as where the house was located. In other words, if somebody's got a judgment against them in Nevada and the house sold in Colorado, that judgment that's recorded in the Nevada courthouse, that is not going to count. Nobody's going to look beyond the court for the county where the house was foreclosed upon. Very important distinction. Okay. When you say research the debt, where do we start? I'm a little confused about it. It's really easy, Tanya. You're researching the debt against the property. It's called the Recorder's Office or the Register of Deeds Department for the county. You can go online and check all the debt against the property on there. We teach you all this. We don't just spew this out there. Hey, good luck. Pat you on the back. Have a good time. We have video and video training and step-by-step. It's really not hard. You can look up Register of Deeds, throw in a county and state name, and start fooling around with that. You can check, sometimes it's called real estate records or land records, and you'll see that it's not hard to check that. Rosalani, I've had a case with 2 tax sales. Is the more recent ex-owner the one who is entitled to the funds? Rosalina, let me make a quick distinction because sometimes people think this. I'm not saying you do, but I'm hoping that you're starting with a surplus funds list, an overage list, okay? And that'll tell you when it was foreclosed, and you're looking for the owner, whoever held the deed just prior to that foreclosure date, the last owner prior to the foreclosure, that's the person entitled to the funds from that foreclosure. Manuel, can we purchase your most expensive package even if you're previously invested in the program and immediately make 50% with the national surplus funds, even though our claims are still pending? All right, so the problem with that, Emmanuel, if you want, you can get in touch with me tomorrow. Go ahead and get the diamond tonight. If you want, get in touch with me tomorrow, and I'll take, because with the 50/50 program, that was a one-time deal. We threw that out January 1st. It was a give back program, but it is still available in the diamond bundle. However, if you buy that tonight and then contact me in the morning, I'll take it out of the rotation, because with 50/50, you have to contact the people and put the deal together. Not put the deal together, but contact them, make sure they want to speak with us. But if you'd like to do that, I'd be happy to do that. Terry, is there a phone script for the surplus funds and premier programs? Yes. Is there a website that we can set up with surplus funds riches to give us legitimacy with the people whom we are contacting? So Terry, you're going to use your own name. Here's the deal, guys. We kind of got out of the website deal with that, and I'll tell you why. I mean, we got out of the whole website thing simply because you can get free hosting these days and you can get free templates. You're welcome to check out our site, greatergoodcompany.com, and build something similar to that. By the way, we're minimalist. Less is more. The whole point of that thing is for them to get in contact with us. It's simply a way for them to see that we have an online presence. Guys, you can get that for free. Blanche, sorry, I hit the send by mistake. The deed is in deceased father's name. Yeah, then Blanche, you're going to have to open an estate or a probate, or you need to know who the executor was of the will. And they're rather the executor of the state, the probate case. And you're going to need to know who that is, because they're the ones you need to deal with. Or, yeah, you're going to need an executor, or they're also called personal representatives in Florida. How much is good to pay a researcher you outsource to do the research and prepare file submission? Seems it's kind of like a title search. It is a title search. So Joey, I mean, here's the deal. I don't know if you've purchased or not from us. Guys, please do that work yourself, or then hire somebody to do it. Don't pay a title company, whatever you do. It's not hard, Joey. I mean, all your questions seem to be focused around it's going to be so difficult to do. It's not. It's not. And by the way, especially you guys, the way you're talking, it sounds like you want to scale this, right? Back up a little bit, let other people do the work, maybe compartmentalize the pieces for the different people. Smart move. It's only one way you're going to make that work. Learn it yourself, do it yourself, then you can train it yourself. Okay? Yeah, guys, don't use Q&A. Jeff just put that up there. Don't use Q&A, please. We just ignore those. I thought I was using chat. What do I need to look for? Terry, you got it. Terry, the blue chat icon is highlighted with a red dot. Am I not on chat? You're on chat, Terry. Joe, how often do we have to renew our membership or agreement? You don't. You buy the program and it's done. It's a one-time deal. Nate, in one of your videos, I think you talked about preempting the pre-foreclosure process or foreclosure process. I don't know. Is that okay? So Nate, it's called deed flipping. I'm going to lead you back to surplusfundsriches.net. Guys, download the file. Right? There's a file you can download. Download it. It goes over that National Deed Flip or Deed Flip 30. Look at that. That's where we actually purchased the property pre-foreclosure from the owner for pennies. Pay off the taxes to stop the sale. Sometimes let them live there for a little bit of time. That helps us with negotiation, obviously. And then we flip it as is, where is to investors really quickly for cash, usually in a matter of weeks. So that's a great question. That is an awesome program. Can you comment on when the docket says suggestion of bankruptcy? All right. So Michelle, 9 times out of 10, when you see suggestion of bankruptcy, sounds like you work in Florida. When you see suggestion of bankruptcy, that is the claimant attempting to stop the foreclosure, or claimant, I should say, the owner at the time, right? That owner at the time prior to the foreclosure attempting to stop the foreclosure process by saying, I'm going into bankruptcy court, and the court puts on the brakes. Then what happens, though, is shortly thereafter, the owner never actually fulfills the bankruptcy, never goes through with it. Court realizes that and says, all right, you had your shot. We're foreclosing now. We're not going to keep falling for this. So that's what that means. It's a technique used by people trying to forestall the foreclosure. Great question. Nathaniel, I heard New York, Michigan, and Colorado are states that don't give money back. Is that true? No, it's not true. However, hold on, I lost my place here. So New York, it's difficult to get a list that's accurate. It's my understanding. We've had a couple of deals come through where the list wasn't quite right. Michigan, actually, we just had something turned in, so I don't see an issue with that. Colorado, we don't work just because we don't like Colorado, Washington State, or Oregon. They're on a witch hunt. Those guys have political aspirations. And while we're completely legal, we don't feel like dealing with that. Tanya, I have the program. I think I'm having problems finding the videos. Tanya, page 1. Page 1. Here's your link to the resources page. Here's your password, dude. It's generated for you right in the ebook. Use that. That'll take you to the resources page, and that has videos on it. Pamela, should we include credit card consumer debt liens against the owner on the liens page? If you know about them, Pamela, absolutely. That'll help us all, work through that a lot quicker. God, yeah. If you can see that, there's very few states where you can, but if you can see that, that'd be wonderful. Okay. You're helping all of us by doing that. And then there's no surprises later. Rosalina says, thank you. Propo, thank you. That's Blanche. Kevin, how far back should our research time frame? I mean, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 6 months. Hey, Kevin, you're researching. The research is researching the debt. So you're researching from when they bought the property till when it foreclosed. It's really, you're going to be searching by owner name on that. So it's going to be limited as to what's going to show up, and it'll be. You can either it'll be in chronological order, or you can literally click it like it's an Excel, most of them, and put it into chronological order. So you're researching from when they bought it to when they lost it. And it's not hard. Would it behoove me to use a pre-foreclosure list or wait until after the tax or bank auction? So Kevin, in surplus funds, you want to have a list of surplus funds. You want to make sure that it actually sold at auction, right? And you want to know how much the money is before you start looking at it and all that. So get a surplus funds list. Don't get a sales list. Get a surplus funds list, a list of surplus funds being held from the foreclosure. Angela, on average, how long does it take to get someone under contract? So generally, Angela, here's your time frame. Great. God, you guys are fantastic questions tonight, right? So typically from when it's turned in to when the money gets paid out, it's about 3 months. It's about a month of calling. This is averages, guys. About a month of calling and mailing and trying to get, and we do this for you if you're on one of our partnership programs. We do the skip tracing. We find them, we call them, we mail them, we contact also their possible relatives and their possible associates. And that'll take from when we get it, and we immediately contact, from when we get it until we get the contract back from them. So this also includes setting up a mobile notary. It's about a month. It takes that many calls and mailings for people to trust us. Nobody actually picks up the phone anymore. So it takes a while for them to trust us and call us back or actually pick the phone up. Once they do, we'll get them under contract quickly, send the mobile notary out. We've done it that night before, but still that total process is about a month. At that point, we're putting it with the attorney, and the attorney's going to get on the docket if they need a motion or get the claim form filled out and reviewed by the court. I know these other guys are telling you can get paid in 2 weeks. That's complete horse crap, guys. Anyway, or reviewed by the court within a month. Either they're going to be in front of the person themselves, the clerk or whoever, or the claim's going to be reviewed within a month. And that's pretty quick. At that point, it takes 2 weeks to 4 weeks in general for the court to pay out, sometimes 6. So the average overall is 3 months, and the average time frame to get them out of contract out of that 3 is the first month. Hope that answered your question. All right, thank you guys. You're welcome, Terry. Thank you, Sean and Jeff. Rightful owner project not quite, Joey. I finally did the final thing on that. It'll be up soon. If a county does not have the records online, how much harder is the research process? Cliff, never seen a county not have their information online. Now, having said that, California counties, and again, don't work just one area, guys. Work wherever. But California counties sometimes will charge just to view a single document, and that can be cost prohibitive. Georgia will charge, I think it's $25 a month, but that gets you access to check all the different counties out. But I have never seen a court without online access to the Register of Deeds or Recorder's office. David says, hi. Getting something here. Sorry, I got to check this real quick, guys. We're running out of time, but I got to check it. All right. David says, hi. Angel, I think Alaska has the shortest time period to collect for funds. Any suggestions? So, Angel, move quick. It depends on the state. Some states it's in perpetuity. You can go after it. Some states there's a limited time frame. Generally, it's a couple of years, but some states have very quick. You're absolutely right. Very quick turnaround time where you can only go after it for a very short period of time. Joey, what percentage do you usually negotiate when you do with the claimant structured buyout? So I give them 10% up front, Joey, and depending on the dollar amount, I'll give them another 40 or 50%. My attorneys are going to run 13. Then I got to pay you guys. Typically, I make 25%. The owner makes 50 to 60. So they tend to be very happy with that, especially since I am on the hook for the complete attorney fees, and that can be 10 to 13%. And that can be a considerable amount of money. And sometimes, depending on the area, if it's a new state, I'll have to actually stake the attorney out of the chute. And I give the owner that 10% of the gross within 2 weeks, 10 business days after they sign the contract. Very fair. Haven't had anybody give me any issues, especially with giving them 10% up front. These guys are broke. They just lost their house. They love it. And it is a fair cut. Because the attorneys, like I said, the attorneys and the research side of it are going to eat a lot, anywhere from 21 to 29%. I have an owner with 2 properties at the location. Both properties together are over 20,000. Can I submit them together? I'm going to let Jeff answer that. Roger, can you, hold on. Can you check personal debt with Microbilt? I don't believe you can, Roger. Microbilt's excellent at finding possible relatives and associates. Just so you guys know, Randy Mosteller, I know I've been saying Stetler in the past, that was wrong. Get up with Microbilt, microbilt.com. Call them. There's an 800 number. Talk to Randy Mosteller. Tell him you talked to Sean Bougie or Greater Good Company, and he will waive the $200 startup fee. And Microbilt is excellent, not only for finding claimants, but really good. I mean, astoundingly good at giving you possible relatives and associates and their contact information. Why do I need Florida surplus funds remote program? You don't, Stephen, but if you want to work Florida's statutes are so different. If that's a state that you would like to work, it is only included in bundles. We did that to limit competition, set up a barrier. Cheapest bundle you can get is, I believe, the best bundle that has Florida. You don't have to have it. You can work national surplus in the other states. Nate, how do you get a surplus funds list? Google, I kid you not, surplus funds list or overages, tax overage list, mortgage overages list, overbids list, excess proceeds list, and don't care what state you get it in. Google it. You're going to find them. You're going to be scrolling for days, guys. California is horrible as well. Sean, California is rough because on a tax sale, most of the counties have the sales. I got to wrap this up soon. Most of the counties have the sales only once a year, and they will wait for 1 year from when, I'm going to give you guys my phone number too. They will wait 1 year from when that foreclosure happened until that's when they will first review any claims against it. So it takes a long time to get it out because even after the review, it's not a 3-month process. It's rough to work with tax overages. Do you recommend working recorder that requires subscription? Actually, Patrick, there's very few that do. Georgia's the only one I'm aware of that requires you pay a subscription price to access the Register of Deeds department. But I will tell you something. Whenever you see a barrier like that, that's opportunity because other people aren't going to spend the money. It's the best way for me to put that. Emmanuel, can you give me a number of claims to submit into where it's comfortable to request the services of your attorney? Emmanuel, what I said was when we've had your stuff turned in and we put a couple of deals under contract and get the money out, that's the only way I know for sure, even though we underwrite that you did everything correct, then I will go ahead and give you access to an attorney if we happen to have one in the area you're working. Sean, here you go. Pre-buy questions, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time, guys. 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday. I'm available for pre-purchase. If you guys already bought, use the support system as it's written in the ebook, but I'm available 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday at 704-791-9398. I'll say it again, 704-791-9398. Hey guys, time to wrap it up. Hope everybody has a great night. And hey, thank you for coming out and wonderful questions tonight. This is what we need. We need the community. This is the interaction that helps folks because a lot of times people ask questions that others didn't even think to ask. Have a good night, guys.